Hello friends, my name is Theo, and today in this exciting Media Media tutorial, we're going to be doing just a ridiculous grade, just for the heck of it. Something you'll probably never use, but I have people asking me, for, quote, advanced node, unquote, setups. And really that doesn't mean anything at all, but we're going to use every single type of node that there is in this grade, and it's going to be cool, and you're never going to use it. So stop watching now, unless you're just in for a roller coaster of a tutorial, and here we go. So here's what we're going to be making, hopefully something like this. So we've got layer mixer, we've got key mixer, we've got parallel mixer, and we've got splitter combiner stuff happening. So I'm going to hit Control Y to make a new version, and then Control Home to clear everything. And here we go. So here's our original clip. It's looking good. The first thing that we're going to do is create a new node, and we're going to add a two-strip look to this. So this is sort of how the idea got started, was doing something with two-strip, and then it just got out of hand. So I'm going to go over to our RGB mixer, and this is the fastest way besides just adding a LUT. So make a two-strip by going like this, switching the red and green and the blue and red, and then changing your hue. But then, of course, I would also be a goof if I didn't just, show that there's a two-strip with a little bit extra, in the house LUTs. But we're going to do it the normal way. So that, really fast. There's your two-strip. And now, like I said before, this is how the tutorials got started. It was going to be add a layer node with Alt-L. You can also go up to nodes, add any of these, whatever you want. And then here we're going to take our skin tones. So just click on a little key, get them out there. That's looking pretty good already. Might blur it a little bit, might add some highlights in there. But, if we play that, since we're not really doing anything to them, our key doesn't need to be as hardcore, which is pretty nice. See, there's a little bit of bleed in the hair, but I'd say, overall it's looking pretty good. This should probably be a tutorial on its own, is making a two-strip with skin tones coming out, but not today. So now we're going to start to get crazy. So I'm going to make these trees a different color. So I'm going to hit Shift S to add a node before this, and we're going to go to our curves mixer, to our curves, go to hue versus hue, add a point on red, and we're going to make stuff crazy, just like that. So now our trees are this goofy greenish color. But if we look at just the node, it's all purpley and goofy. Excuse me. And even though that does affect our skin tone some, if you look at this, it doesn't matter because our skin's coming through in this node. Heyo. So now we have these crazy blue-green trees. I don't really love what it did to her dress. I mean, we could probably Alt-L. This wasn't in the original one, but just take a quick little key of the dress. Whoop, not there. Go over to our key qualifier area. Yeah, that'll be pretty easy. Blur it out. Take some of this lower saturation stuff out. A little bit of softness. Once again, since we're not doing anything to this, the key will be relatively clean, just on its own. You get a little bit of nastiness in here, which is probably from this guy. Yeah, so we need to bring our lows back down. Maybe not. Maybe we just need to widen this out some. There we go. I can bring our lows back up to be about there. I'll call that good for now. You see, even though we're polluting the darker parts of the image in this key, it doesn't really matter because there's not much going on in that part. But there. So now this is already a pretty cool look, I think. If you tone it back down, it could probably be something cool. Now we're going to start making it crazy. So what we're going to do is add another serial node outside of here. And we're going to just select our highlights. Shift H to solo that node. And we'll just sort of get up here going with some low soft. And we'll blur it out a little bit. And now we'll warm these up. Just by going to our gain and pushing it up there. That's looking pretty fun. We could maybe even bring our midtones back a little bit in this. Cancel it out some. Yep. And then we'll hit Alt P to create a parallel mixer node. And we don't need to do this in a parallel mixer node, but they're sort of happening at the same time in my mind, so they're going to happen in a parallel node. Then we'll add a key mixer, and we'll take the key from our highlights and a key from our shadows, or our skin tones, and pump that in there. And now you can see we get the highlights keyed out and we get the skin keyed out. So without this guy, we'd have all this in there. So that's what a key mixer is for. It's super handy dandy. Boop. Just like that. So now in here, we're even going to do another thing on top of this, which would be to take out some of the shadows. So it's just sort of our midtones going here. Yep. And we'll do low soft. Smooth that out. Shift H. And now we'll push this towards something crazy like purple. So we get a little bit extra toning going on in our trees, so they're not just that one flat color. We'll bring this down a little bit maybe. I want to see this tree getting in there. And by down, I mean, you know, the low section, not the high section. So there you go. That's starting to look pretty goofy. And, you know, you can, of course, move this to any color you want. If you want it to be greener, you can do that. Bluer. But I want purpley. So we're going to do purpley. All right. And now we're going to go add a bunch of nodes in parallel. So this would be just like some old school Meissner Media tutorials. We'd always do this. I don't get enough chances to do this anymore, so we'll do it here. So we'll add some nice bloomy bits on the sun. And we'll make this, you know, nice and warm. And we'll bring it up a little bit, increase our contrast. And I know some people are going to be yelling about blowing out the sky, but deal with it. Sometimes the sky gets blown out. And we could recover this detail, but there's no reason to. So, chew on that. Then hit Alt-P, and we're going to add one of these linear gradient things. Just have it go across the entire image. We'll make this side cooler. And we'll hit Alt-O for an outside node, and we'll make the other side warmer. Might even move this back some, because I like that warmth in there a little better. Nice. That's fun. Might even darken this guy down a bit in the gain section. Darken that guy's lift. Lifts too much. Gamma up. Fun. This is really a lot of stuff. Then we'll add another parallel mixer. And this we will track along Amber here. And she like moves her arm around some, so getting an actual track on this is pretty hard. So we're just going to do it manually. You can do this with a keyframe thing over here, but we're already at node 15, so trying to find node 15 is a lot of work. So we're going to go to our tracker tab, turn on frame. You see in here, when you move it, it automatically makes a keyframe. So we'll go to the beginning, set a keyframe there, go to the end, set a keyframe, and then sort of keep subdividing, bisecting, whatever, these things until we get there. And this is a good, quick way to get, you know, tracks fast without having to do a lot of work. You just keep bisecting keyframes. So you don't have to keyframe every single frame, like a lot of people try to do. Not a lot of people. Like less informed people think they have to do. And, you know, you can instead just like fill time while you get stuff going. So there you go. So there you go. Nice and quick. Got a decent little track, because this one isn't doing a whole lot. And then we can go back to clip, and I can soften this out a little more, make it a little bigger maybe, bring it up, and then that'll affect the entire thing, which is pretty nice. And now in here, we will just go ahead and add some contrast and bring our pivot down so it brightens it up. And we'll just normally brighten it up with gain. And then we'll hit Alt-O for another outside node, and we'll drop just a little bit of lens blur in there, like 1.5, just to sort of smooth that out. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is do some funny stuff with the splitter combiner node. So, we totally don't need to use this node at all, but this is sort of the whole purpose of the tutorial. So Alt-Y splitter combiner, we get our red, green, and blue channels here. And I happen to know that our red channel is our mostest noisiest one in here from experimenting. We'll go see. See, green looks fine. Blue's pretty nasty. we should denoise blue some also. So we'll go into our denoiser, and this is a good advanced way of denoising. Is just doing one channel at a time. So I mean, technically you don't even need chroma denoising in here. So just luma, there you go. For this one, we could probably even do a little bit of this. It'll soften it out some, give it a little bit of VHS look probably. But yeah, not too bad. We still get some detail back in there, and then we'll go in red, and we'll just do temporal on this one because it's a lot of information in the red one. So there's that. And we'll, of course, always change it to better because we are professionals here. Nice, looking good. And now we can do goofy things in here as well. So we can use our primaries wheels just like their red, green, and blue curves. So if we bring this up, you'll see you get more red in the highlights, which is kind of fun. So bring this back up. And maybe even put some red in the shadows, just a little bit. Blue, we will go ahead and bring the gain down, get some more yellows in the highlights, bring the lift up, get some more blues in the shadows. Or maybe even bring the lift down, get some yellows in the shadows. What about that? What about that, huh? And then we'll bring the gamma back up so our skin is back about where it wants to be. We'll just keep playing with those. Nice. That's looking fun. So this is all over the place. But we're having a good time. And now, once again, we don't need this at all, but we're going to do it because it's fun. So we'll hit Alt-S for another serial mixer for another serial node. And then we'll hit Alt-L for a layer mixer, and we will pipe the red channel output into here. So you can see, since our red has like super bright skin, which is really fun, very angelic, it gets sort of that infrared look, which makes sense because it's red. And this can get a little bit funny with like soloing nodes and stuff, but just don't worry about it. And then in this layer mixer node, we're actually just going to leave our composite mode to normal. And we're going to reduce the opacity of this to something like, 0.3, and that'll even out our saturation a lot, which will be nice, and so to give it a little more surreal look. If you're like feeling snazzy about it, you can add a little bit of Gaussian blur on this to give it a little bit of a cool blur effect, 0.15, just to sort of bloom those highlights out a little bit in an interesting way, which I think is cool. Which could once again be a tutorial on its own, but we're just going hard because I'm procrastinating doing actual work, and we're just recording a long, crazy tutorial. So now we've got that, and we'll add another serial node and a layer mixer node. We're going to pipe in from the very beginning. Nice. We could leave it like that and just be hilarious, or we could change this to composite mode and make it color. To just sort of normalize things out a bit, and then we can reduce the opacity on this some to taste probably like 0.5-ish or 0.3 again, 0.2. Yeah, now it's a little bit muted, so we're just going to go and bump our saturation back up in this so we get it back to where we want it. Nice. Probably bring this back up a little bit, 0.3. And then we'll fight it again over here. And our midtones are looking pretty saturated, so we'll go ahead and just bump that down with luminance versus saturation. So even that out. To keep amber from looking like an Oompa Loompa, because no one wants that. So we should probably bring this back some, so 0.2. Nice. And then while I'm thinking about it, we'll hop back here and we'll add another parallel mixer, and we'll drop a vignette on here just for the fun of it. Nice. And now that looks quite a bit different from the original thing that we did, but I think this is fun. I'll make these a little more purple. Not that purple. Maybe about that purple. It's looking good. Save it. And now we probably could also, why the heck not? Why the heck not? We're here. I'll hit Alt-P again. Not there. Select this node, Alt-P. And I will take another key mixer. We'll get this guy. And this guy. Pump that in here. See what we get. So we need to invert some stuff. Invert both of those. There we go. So now that what that did is that got our skin key, but it removed all the stuff outside of that little circle that we tracked, so we get a little bit nicer stuff. And now we can do things like increase our contrast a little bit on our skin, which we all know I like to do. And since Amber is a lady, we will go ahead and reduce the mid-tone detail just a little bit, smooth out the skin some. Not that she needs it, but this is already a pretty surreal look, so we can do whatever we want. I'll hop back to this one, which is our qualifier over here, and I'll maybe make it even a little bit more intense. And I'll bring our saturation up, because why the heck not? There we go. And I'll say that is crazy enough. So for those people who've been messaging me wanting to know advanced node setups, I mean, this is pretty much end game, I think. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was kind of a goof. If you ever do use this grade, send it to me on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube message, because I think that'll be hilarious. Guys, 27 nodes is a few nodes, I think. But yeah, so if you stuck around this far, good for you, I guess. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Oh, probably not like this. Maybe like this. If you like this, I can just do ridiculous stuff all day. Also, check out media.com/products, where you can see some sweet LUTs that will save you from having to do this amount of color grading. Let's go. Swiss LUTs. We could... I mean, this will get a little oversaturated because it's already here. What do I want to put on here? People like Sam and Nero. Look at that. That's pretty cool. We'll make that part of the thing. Bring the gain down some. Make it like 0.3. No, I'll make it more like 0.5. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that definitely added to it. That's part of the thumbnail. This is now part of the grade. So you have to go to meetsnewy.com/products and pay me money for LUTs because I'm terrible. Also, leave a comment with your favorite breakfast cereal or recipes for cookies. Links for socials are down in the description below. Once again, if you use this grade, you don't have to buy the Swiss LUTs. What this Sam and Nero one is, it's basically some bonus tips. You save, and I'll control Y, and then I will reset all grades and nodes. What it is basically, it's a little bit more involved than this, but like the fundamental part of it, which you see all over the place, is 2-strip. It's there, and then you redo the hue to get our skin more where it's at. So that's sort of the fundamental of it, and then there's some other things in there. But you see this look a lot, especially because normally there'll be a little more contrast and stuff, so you'll see things more like whatever. Anyway, our other grade is way cooler, so Control N. That's my original. Version 3 is our tutorial. So yeah, original tutorial, completely different, but still fun. I've rambled on for plenty long. Goodness gracious, this is long. Once again, thanks so much for watching this far. I know that there's gonna be like 1 or 2 of you. I know you know who you are. But I don't have any more gems. So we'll end this short. Once again, I'm Theo with Media. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.